Oh, that's incredible. Right, so here we go. We're going to ask you just to stay with us for a little bit longer as we welcome the BMWs. I mean, this is really fun racing. We've got the families out here. These are fun cars to race around this track, eh?
Especially with the amount of cars on the track. How many?
Well, we had 59 starting the weekend. As we see, is it Robert Volk going past,
so.
eh? Robert Volk in the GTC, obviously just having a
little shakedown.
A little shakedown there. He's not in this race, I can guarantee you that. Yeah, so we got 59 cars. In fact, we were speaking to the chairman of the racing series, and he was hoping for 60, but 59 rocked up. Unfortunately, some were out, so we had 51 on the grid yesterday.
Even that is still
and
phenomenal.
What a sight. In fact, by the time the leaders got down to the first corner at Gauteng,
the guys weren't even finished coming across
they weren't even across the start line. So we will keep an eye out on this. It is the second round for the BMW M Sport Performance Series, so it's not their opening round. So they've already had one race, and we got a little insight yesterday into the series as well. But yeah, certainly looking forward to it, and lovely to have a family kind of series here at the 9 hour. So, must ask you, what was your first car? Or is that a bit too late?
I haven't even got my first car yet. I only got my license a few months ago, so I've been just borrowing one of my dad's cars or my mom's car. But that'll come sooner or later.
So, how many cars have you driven in your life? Far more than you've done on the legal roads.
Yeah,
eh?
More race cars than normal cars.
Well, I suppose the big question we all want to know is, did you pass your driver's test the first time?
Yes,
okay,
yes,
right.
fortunately.
We would have been disappointed that you have to learn K53 books.
I actually have a little secret. I failed my learner's test once, but my driver's test once. But yeah, the K53, you have to know it.
So at what age did you do your first drive in a car?
I think 12.
12 years old,
I think so.
Dad. We'll talk to Dad a bit later. Right, so here we go. Lining up now. And where is the Ribeiro brothers? Unfortunately, yesterday, Rick Ribeiro went straight on the first corner. He's fine now, Rick Ribeiro, but it was his brother Paulo then that took the race. Unfortunately, we ended under a red flag, but I don't see him on the front of the grid. We'll get confirmation of that in a moment, but quite a sight there. It's going to take a while to get these cars all lined up. We're expecting 50 on the grid for this morning's race. And I think this is the thing about racing, being so close to other cars. I mean, most of your time has been this weekend, or this 100%. Week so far, on your own.
Yeah.
I mean, your car comes past, you've been close to some, but nothing quite like this. I mean, starting today on the grid, you don't want to call. I mean, it's a long race, so you want to just stay out of trouble.
100%.
So there we go. We see the BMW M Performance Part Series cars coming through and lining up here. Oh, it's a full field, as you can see, all the way to the back. I'll give you a quick rundown there. It's 5 classes. We start with the A class. These are the cars that are doing sub 1 minute 56s around this track. And if you're in the B class, there he comes.
There he is.
There he comes, the number 11. Right, that was the race winner from yesterday. So great to see one of the Ribeiro brothers here. The 126 is the one that unfortunately went off yesterday. So just quickly reminding you then, the A class, sub 156. If you do a 156 to a 202 around this track, you're in the B class. So if you're in the B class and you just go under 156, they take off your B sticker.
A sticker.
They put an A sticker on. So they make it really fair. C is 202 to a 208, and then so 6-second window there, 208 to a 212 for D and E class, everything back basically. We had guys starting on Thursday in the E. They're now in B.
I think they found a bit of confidence in the car and the track.
Absolutely, and why not? So it's going to be quite a scene. And this is, as you can see around the track, race fans are lining up, got the cameras out.
Already, so not even 10 o'clock, not even 10 a.m.
Yeah, and they're lined up because this is quite a sight. But we've got the pace car out in front. So, of course, they'll be leading them around the track. And there's some... So there we go, all lined up. It seems like a bit of confusion at the back of the field because, as you can imagine, 50 cars lining up. So in fact, it looks like we're going to go straight to racing in a moment. There we go. So we've got the 1 minute board. Back of the field, still trying to find their positions, but we've got a tight schedule here today, so we don't have too much time I'm not sure I've seen too many races start like that.
Yeah.
And are we underway? No, we are not. So we're not racing. So it's going to be a formation lap. Cars just coming through, finding their positions. So your first experience of Kyalami, must ask. I mean, it must feel really special.
100%. It's not as I don't think the simulator does the track justice. It's a epic track, world class track. Even just by the facilities and just driving on track, you can really just see by the runoff and everything. This is a very special track.
Do your friends know that you're here?
Most of them, I think so.
And what do they think about you racing a GT3 Audi, top speeds around this track? What do they think about it?
It's a bit like difficult to explain how the car works and what it does, but I think the few that do understand are a bit blown away at times. But it's nice to have some friends come out and always just come show love and all that.
I mean, you must see this as really a great growth season, traveling overseas, getting all these opportunities. Can you look ahead a few years and have some dreams and aspirations, or what's your goals? Have you got any?
I'd say in the near future, obviously now that we've been working with Audi for going on to our second year now, so hopefully just try and strengthen that relationship with Audi, and in the near future, fingers crossed, hopefully become a factory driver. That's always been the biggest target. So right now, I'd say we're closer than ever. So hopefully that is what to come in the near future.
Yeah. So Kwanda Mokoena, do you have a bit of a nickname? What do your friends call you, huh?
Kwanda, Kwants. Oh.
Kwants.
I can't really think of much.
Okay.
K.
Just K. All right. We can see the cars coming through now, the back of the field here, going through the clubhouse corner there, Sunset in the background, into the S's. I mean, this is a difficult corner. We've seen quite a far. You can see the tire marks in the sand. You miss your braking point there, you're through, and then you're a passenger, and you're coming across this part of the track. I mean, it's a dangerous little section.
It's not a slow corner. It's not
a slow corner. Yeah.
I don't think the camera actually does it justice of the actual elevation change of that corner. When I say it goes down, it goes down.
And of course, this corner is absolutely stunning. You're so high up. Again, I think you don't really get to see the full picture here of coming up to Leeuwkop, the old West Bank, and then down the mine shaft. Look at that. It's stunning to see 50 BMWs on the line. It was wonderful to have the chairman yesterday, Mr. Bernard de Gouveia. He joined us in studio. He's just having an absolute ball, being on TV, being out here, welcoming all these drivers. There's a lot of families here. Just a fantastic experience here at the Kyalami 9 Hour. We'll get to that grid in a moment. Kwanda Mokoena joining me here ahead of the Kyalami 9 Hour coming up in a short while. There we go, the lead car peels off. We'll see the cars coming around Ingwe in a moment. There they go past Cheetah. Right, so this is the exciting part, eh?
How was the start?
The rolling start, of course, we're looking back at still red lights, waiting for it to turn green. It's an exciting moment now. Don't go too early, and there we go. Red lights out.
There we go.
And I'm expecting, there he is. He's not going to waste too long to get to the front. It's Paulo Loureiro, the race winner from yesterday, quickly into the lead of the race. Some stunning BMWs and different eras. I mean, this is the great thing about this series. It's about your performance rather than what engine size and they like to be quite authentic. They were telling us yesterday, the chairman Bernard de Gouveia, that you can't come here with too much souped up and turbos. Yeah. It's got to be authentic cars, which is great for the series as well. Sunset's a stunning corner. What are your favorite corners around this track?
I'd probably say Mineshaft. And Mineshaft, Crocodiles. Oh,
really?
It's quite a technical part of the track, so I tend to enjoy the technical parts. And probably Sunset would probably come in as their favorites, yeah.
Well, you've got a lot of straights that are downhill. Of course, the main straight going down to Crowthorne. I mean, we were hearing from the different series yesterday about how late they leave the braking. What's in these cars that you're racing? 50 meters, 100 meters?
Going into turn 1?
Yeah, going into
turn 1, I'd say between the 80 and 100 meter board.
Okay. Don't leave it too late, huh?
Yeah.
But it is a wide corner to make a recovery. And then full taps for you through mineshaft?
And then mineshaft is flat out 5th gear.
Flat out 5th gear, hey? All right, so it looks like we've got a vehicle that's got a problem going up to the top of Leeuwkop as we have a dive down the inside. This is a difficult one because look how wide the corner is and you compromise yourself coming into the cheetah. There's that sausage curve, eh? The yellow sausage curve, eh?
Can't take too much of that or else you're gonna get flanked the other way.
Okay, so Pablo Lerrero now, a 152 on that last lap. He's already opened up 5 seconds, and then we've got a car in the gravel, unfortunately. Oh, and it looks like, unfortunately, doesn't look like he's going to be able to get started there. We'll keep you updated on that. But Leon Loepscher, who was on the podium yesterday in 2nd place, the number 47 then in Iman Modak in 3rd. Car's diving down into Crowthorne, but just keep an eye out there. We've got a car in the gravel. Might bring up the yellow flag or more. We did see the race end yesterday, unfortunately, under the safety car as well. So you've got a busy day ahead of you. I guess we better let you get going soon. But
thank you.
Number 75 out there, right? But let's just say, Kwando, thank you so much for your time. We're wishing you all the best.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
Cheers, man. Youngest man on the grid, of course, and we're certainly looking out for him a little bit later on. Right, so as mentioned there, the 77, unfortunately, is out. So it's just going to be waved yellows. That's coming up there through the S's. And we're looking to see if we can get the cars. Looks like we're going to continue with the race. We certainly would not like to see another shortened race and the race coming to an end. So let's just remind you, we've got 5 classes, A, B, C, D, E. A for the cars under the 156 mark. From 156 a lap time to a 202, you're in the B class. Oh, and there we go. Safety car is out. The SC board is up. And unfortunately, Paulo Ribeiro is going to have to slow down now. He's already through the start-finish. He did a 151.7 that time. And there we go. And that is the Crocodiles, eh? Kwando talking about how he loves that corner. I don't know, it's taken lots of victims this weekend. And you can see you going to the gravel. Wheels just spinning there, not able to get going, unfortunately. Right, so everyone's going to have to just slow down. Now, it does give us a chance to give you a little update as to where we are running in the field. So it's the number 11, Lerrero, who's currently leading the way. No surprise there. Started 3rd on the grid after his race victory yesterday. In 2nd, it's the 66 of Leon Loepscher, the Bidwheels BMW E92. 47 then in 3rd, it's Iman Modak in the MIM Autos BMW E46 in 3rd place. In B class, it's the 116 of Lyle Ramsey. He is in the BMW E36. Then we've got the 48 in B class. That is the Nick Makris in the BMW E46 335i Turbo. And then the number 12, it's Ari van der Berg. Consistently in the top 3 all week long. Ari in the BMW E36 3rd in class. So that's the B division. Then C class, we've got the number 45, that is Anwar Levy. Started the week in D class, but he was just too quick, moved up to C, and he's dominating there as well. So Anwar there leading the class at the moment, the number 45. In 2nd place, it's the 68, and that is Mr. Cochran, Troy Cochran in the Arrow Automotive BMW E36. 2nd in class in the C, and number 27, Mr. Hilligan there, number 27, Alan Hilligan in the BMW E46 in 3rd in class. Those are your C class runners. D class, it's the number 50 in Gary Martin's, the Grease Monkey Motor Garage. Didn't have a great start to the week, unfortunately. Was out in the opening free practice, had a problem with the car, but has bounced back quite nicely and comfortably running there in the top 3. So they're in the D class number 50. 2nd in class in D is the 101, and the BMW E30 number 101 is Reinhard Miller, the Heijo Trans E30, running 2nd in class. And then the number 330, it's Manny Ribeiro, BMW Car Club in Gauteng in the E46, running third in class. And then lastly, of course, our E-class, towards the back of the field, the 735 of Dave Rees. He's currently leading the class there in the E36. Second in class is the 88. That's Ari van Heerden in the VTEC Motorsport, BMW E97. Oh, stunning car. And third in class, the 514 of Kobus Boma in the Pep Shield BMW. Consistently been running third in class. So unfortunately, under safety car, we've had two cars go off there. One in the gravel, coming down the mine shaft into the crocodiles, and another then, unfortunately, coming up the hill, we saw the smoke towards Leeuwkop. So doubled wade yellows across the fields as we're under safety car at the moment. So just 2 laps done so far. We've got an interesting story, of course. Our chairman of the board, chairman of the race series, Bernard Gouveia, got to speak to him a little bit yesterday about the series, and he says they used to have Peter K. Eddy at the track days. He used to manage K. Eddy Estates racing teams for many years, and he decided a couple of years ago to let a young lad from Polar Cup race the original Tony Vianney E30 Shadowline that he owns. So a very special, unique car, and that young man's name was Sheldon van der Linde. Hey, it was his first experience in a rear-wheel drive race car, and yeah, Peter K. Eddy from K. Eddy Estates had a racing team for many years in the series, and yeah, he had this iconic E30 Shadowline, and he let a young man by the name of Sheldon van der Linde. So he's steeped in history. And speaking to Bernard and the team, they are so proud of this series. We had 59 cars start the weekend. We had 47 starting this race. And it looks like with a couple of casualties, we're down to 42 at the moment. That's motorsport, eh? As the cars come through once again, unfortunately, we've had a few incidents over yesterday and this morning already. And with the very tight time schedule we have, we unfortunately can't allow for too much extra time. So still to come this morning, it's the Mobile One V8 series up next. Then the Compcare Polo Cup to look out for. Those come your way over the next hour. Then the GTC rounds up the local series for us at 20 minutes to 11. We've got a couple of historic cars on the track, including Mr. Schechter. We'll see a bit later. And then the build-up from 1 o'clock starts right here as we get ready for the Kyalami 9-hour. So still behind the safety car here in the BMW M Sport series, the performance parts race series rather. Round 2 of the season, the opening round having taken place. And the team, of course, are preparing for a busy schedule, mostly in the Gauteng area, but they are going to go to Pekisa. And for the first time this year, they're going to head down to Aldo Scribanti, down in Nelson Mandela Bay, and their first ever coastal race. And looking forward to seeing how the cars perform down along the coastline. So used to, of course, setting these vehicles up for up here in the Highveld and inland races. And certainly a very different kind of atmosphere and performance down in my hometown in Nelson Mandela Bay. Still behind the safety car then for this round 2 of the BMW M Performance Parts Race Series. Yesterday we saw Rick Loureiro and brother Paolo leading the way. Unfortunately, Rick, towards the end of the race, going off at Crowthorne and causing a bit of damage to that stunning BMW, the 126 rather, combined racing F30. Unfortunately, a big front-on collision at Crowthorne. And unfortunately, the race ending under the red flag. But the marshals were outstanding. It wasn't long before we were able to get going with our next race. And it shows you how prepared the amazing team are here at the Kyalami International Circuit. And there you can have a little bit of a glimpse on the right there. You'll see a bit of a track there. That's the 4x4 area. And just up this section over here, just past the 4x4, the racetrack turns right. And of course the cars will then be would have gone on the old race circuit, but yeah, of course now it's having changed. In fact, some of drivers who are here this weekend will still talk of those days as they're racing on the way. Well, we've got Sean Aranges joining us from Stradali Motorsport in a short while as we wait for the racing to get underway here in the BMW M Performance Pass Race Series. And yeah, fantastic to have some of our Kyalami 9-hour drivers joining us. So we, of course, spoke to Kwanda a little bit earlier on. And the youngest driver on the track. He's been racing cars for a long time before he even got his own driver's license. Still under safety car here as we welcome Sean Aranges into the studio from Stradali Motorsport. Sean, good morning. Good to have you with us. Eh? What a fantastic day. Excitement building. Are you all ready to go?
Yes, well, we hope so. We've not had the best of weeks yet. Yeah. You know, we've just got into a new car with the Mercedes and getting used to it. So yeah, it's just, yeah, it's a bit frustrating currently.
Absolutely. Right, let's talk about it because we had, I think, an incident yesterday through Sunset. Didn't look like it had too much impact on the car, so is there anything coming through from that?
No, look, we've Clint luckily used his head. He made a little bit of a mistake while changing driver ID, went in 10 k's too hard into Sunset, and what would have been a big crash wasn't, luckily.
Yes.
And so yeah, no, we got away with little damage. I think it's just you know, it put us back a bit of time with setup, and we tried something for qualifying, and it really backfired on us.
Yeah, listen, that's raising more questions than answers for us today. What do you mean he's changing his ID while driving? What's happening there?
Yeah, I know, it's so we've got this driver ID system in the car to
for your setup.
No, to know who's in the car while driving.
This is like the little lights that we see, the LEDs flashing, is it that?
No, yeah, well, you'll see there's a little LED box in the car with a number, either 1, 2, or 3.
Yes, where you are.
Yes, so that is
the driver.
Yeah, so I'll be driver 1. And so yeah, he forgot to change his driver ID as he went out the pits, and when he was told to do it, I think it was the wrong time.
So he was going into Sunset
and trying to change his driver ID. Yeah.
Do you back off for Sunset normally?
Yeah, it's like a light tap on the brakes, turn and go, and that was still a bit flat taps, I think, at that point.
We always wondered if you guys are doing long stints, if you get bored in the race. So now we're finding out that you're changing.
No, we're busy in the cars, trust me. Always changing stuff, and so yes.
Yeah, all South African teams, Stradali Motorsport. I mean, I know it's been challenging, but it still must feel very special being here. And of course, being in front of the home fans this weekend.
Exactly. Look, to be quite honest, every year it's a challenge. You know, it's a reality check when you have to race against the best of the best in the world. And you know, last year we had pretty much the same result in practice and qualifying, and then came the race, and we were right there. So you know, we're not writing off the race yet.
Just yet. So when are you going to be driving?
We are actually having a meeting after this.
We'll find out.
Yeah, look, normally I would start the race, but after yesterday, I might be demoted a bit.
All right, racing underway here in the BMW M Performance Parts Race Series. I mean, this is really the raw part.
This is brilliant racing. I mean, it's a massive group of cars. They're really passionate about their racing.
I loved hearing from them yesterday saying that they're after authentic, and they quickly spot anybody who's coming in with something that's not authentic.
Exactly. Exactly. And I actually raced against a few of the guys, the Lareros at the front there. We regularly race against each other, and those cars are super, super fast.
Well, tell us about your racing calendar. I mean, what have you got all lined up?
Well, after this, should all go well over this weekend. We're racing next weekend in the SAS at Zwartkops, and 2 weeks after we're down in Cape Town again with the GNH Extreme Supercars. So it is just non-stop racing this year. We're running 3 championships, SAS, SAGT, wow, and Extreme Supercars. So yeah, no, it's just non-stop,
flat out,
2 races a month.
And different cars?
Well, no, not for me this year. I want to keep to the Mercedes as much as possible. Looks like myself and Clint will be campaigning the whole of SAS this year. And yeah, well, we have a few programs for different cars, you know. The Audi has to race as well. So.
Of course. Well, one of the things we've been asking the drivers in the various series is about this iconic track and the race lines, because we notice very different racing lines taken, everyone finding their groove. So is there a perfect lap around here, a perfect race line?
Well, if there is, go and ask Marciello.
Yeah, because he knows.
He pretty much did brilliantly yesterday. Look, I mean, every year when we get here, it's literally a new track. It's like, well, I've never raced here. That's just how it feels. The lines are ridiculous what these pros do and where they go, and the lap times just keep tumbling. So, it's trying to keep up with them and whatever they're doing.
And you learn a little bit from them by sort of following a little bit, if you can.
That, yes. We're lucky that we've got full AMG backing this weekend, so we have a form of data share between us, which helps us quite a lot. But still, seeing it and then trying to implement it is two different things.
Absolutely. Just we've got Paulo Loureiro at the moment, 1:48.4, 1 minute 48.4. I mean,
fantastic.
You guys were doing 1:43s, 1:44s yesterday?
Yes. No, I mean, for locally built
yes.
BMWs, look, I also know these boys push big horsepower. I've raced against him with the Lamborghini, and straight off the line, they just bomb you with all that horsepower. But yes, no, I mean, it's fantastic the times these boys are doing.
Yeah, and I think that's a nice insight for us about sort of the step up from this, which is hobby, this is what my sport is, but to take it to a professional level, to where you are sort of racing at, and then to go to a Marciello is another level. I mean, that's, and those times you think, Gareth, are you talking about 2 seconds here? Surely it's not that difficult. I mean, it is miles apart.
It is miles. I mean, we were yesterday a good two and a bit seconds off in qualifying our best time, and you're on the raggedy edge, and it's like, but how do these guys do
this? Where are they getting the time?
And when you actually see their data, it makes it clear. Don't make a mistake. But just the amount of corner speed these guys carry, it's what they can do with the limited amount of tire we have is fantastic.
And is that a talent thing? Is it what they have at their the resources they have? What can you put it down to something?
It's a bit of everything, but I think the biggest thing is experience. I mean, if you just take Jules Gunong, he's probably raced this year more than we would race the whole year, just in this first 2 months. So to put that in perspective, I mean, they drive a lot, and the cars they drive, that's all they drive.
It's amazing.
It helps.
Yeah.
We jump from car to car to because that's what we do.
Yeah.
And obviously it keeps us a bit behind.
Yeah. And it's a busy schedule for them. I know there's only 5 rounds in this Intercontinental GT, but they've got a full program.
Yeah, look, I think these boys, they never sit still. The factory drivers, they are posted all over the world. So, no, if they've got an off weekend, there's something wrong.
Yeah, I think one of the things that stands out when you see them walking down the pits is they're like top athletes. They're like super thin. They've got 6 packs, and there's like not an ounce of fat on them, because I think to be at that level all the time, I mean, you're obviously losing a lot of weight doing these many laps, eh?
Yeah. No, look, I like to call them they're like a new age jockey, basically. I mean, these boys are like small, light, and they have to perform week in and week out. And I mean, Sheldon being one as well. He's a tall boy, but geez, I mean, he's half my size.
He's half your size. Okay, let's stop comparing now. Let's talk about that Mercedes that you've got.
Yes.
I mean, I know you're finding your feet in it, but wow, what a machine! What a sound, hey?
No, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, I've driven probably most of the GT3 cars out there. And no, please.
Yeah, let me just give you an update here, folks, because we're having such fun chatting to Charles here, but it is the end of the race here in the BMW M Performance Parts Race Series. Unfortunately, we're not seeing lap times on the screen, so that is catching us out a bit, but it is Loureiro who takes it, and lap 8, he did a 1:48.4 was his quickest lap time. Ahead of him, just behind him, Leon Lobsher, second in class in the BMW E92. And the number 920 Corbini, the E46, that's a fantastic result for Carlo. He's not really featured at all at the top of the top 3 in any of the weekend so far. So a fantastic result for him. In B class, it's number 116, Lyle Ramsey. He's dominated the B class all weekend long in free practice and qualifying. and he takes victory in the B class. Second, we've got the number 12, Van der Berg, Ari Van der Berg. He's in the BMW E36. We've got a diesel out here. Who's letting diesels on the track? There we go. That's the number. Ach no, then what's next? Land Rover's on the track here. Number 82 going through. Varish Ganpath in the E46 3330 CR Turbo going through. Yeah, I would also be applauding a diesel going around here.
And at speed.
That's very impressive there. All right, so some more race results coming through for you, and of course we'll keep you updated right here on the day with on our YouTube channel, and of course look out Kyalami 9 hour. Just coming back here, I mean, just we're talking a bit about the experience of the cars around the track, but this Mercedes that you've got, is there more speed in it? I mean, is it a setup thing?
It's set up, to be quite honest. You know, speed, everything is relevant. Yeah, I mean, we bang on the same top end as
them,
as a
top
car
guys.
that did a 42 dead yesterday. So, you know, it's just that little fine tuning, and it's getting to that sweet spot. But we will get there. I mean, we've been racing for the past how many years with mid-engine cars, so yeah.
So you think you can go quicker? That's what you're saying.
Obviously, we will.
Yes.
It is a fight. The boys are working their bums off at the moment, so yeah.
I think that's what's really stood out for me. Coming early on Wednesday, I mean, some of these cars arrived here in pieces, putting it together. These mechanics have been working through the night.
Yes.
And of course, then having to get the fines set up and get everything right for the race is so important.